Hey, happy Friday to you, and welcome back to the Friday Funnies. You know, the big story this week is the weather. Most of the country has had rain, snow, or winds this week, with a few cases of really nasty weather. Now, it's winter in the northern hemisphere, and the weather is never nice, but we are getting more daylight every single day. So at least it's light out when we come home to shovel the snow. Perhaps it's the weather that is causing all the crazy news stories, like the report from border authorities that smugglers in Mexico have turned their attention from smuggling drugs to smuggling eggs. The extreme cost of eggs has prompted illegal eggs coming into this country from Mexico. Apparently, the bad guys are hiding the eggs in kilos of narcotics, which always seem to sneak through. And former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi had Catholic priests come to her house for an exorcism. Now, they did that this week to rid the house of bad spirits after her husband was attacked in it. So the priests exorcised the evil spirits and also told Mrs. Pelosi that she'd have to go too. Now, these stories are just the tip of the wacky journalistic iceberg this week. Here are the real nut jobs in the news. The British Museum in London has decided to eliminate the use of the word mummy when referring to dead people wrapped in bandages. Instead, they're going to call them by the woke term of mummified remains. Apparently, they don't want to offend the people who died 3,000 years ago and think they're adding a bit of dignity by not calling them mummies. They've also agreed to refer to fossilized dinosaurs as rock animals. So I'm glad to see mummies get their overdue respect, but if you can't use the word mummy in the British Museum, what are little kids visiting there supposed to call their mothers? We all know that people are very gullible, but this story is beyond belief. Walt Disney World closed their Splash Mountain ride this week to make room for a bigger, better ride. Splash Mountain was a water flume ride, and some shysters thought that Disney World fans would want to save a piece of nostalgia by selling them bottles of water from the ride. Really? People are going to buy bottles of water that allegedly came from Splash Mountain? Well, I gotta tell you, 4-ounce bottles are currently selling for $20. Now, if you are one of the people that bought Splash Mountain water, have I got a deal for you. I recently came into a limited supply of water from the Red Sea, the one that Moses parted. It's historical religious water, and it's only $20 a teaspoon. Contact me for details. Over in Manila, the folder capital of the world, a newlywed couple treated guests at their reception to a very expensive giveaway. No, they didn't give them water from Splash Mountain or even a dozen eggs, but gave guests something even more valuable, a bag of onions. Onions are very expensive in Manila, so the couple rewarded their guests with 150 kilos. That's like they gave away 330 pounds of onions. Onions in Manila reached a cost of $15 a pound. But the couple could afford the hefty bill because the bride's family owns an onion farm, and everybody loves onions. Thank goodness the family aren't kale farmers. Hey, that's it, my friends, for another week. Thanks for joining me. Please, as always, pass this along to others. Listen to my podcast this week, Another Day Above Ground, and come back and join me again next Friday. I'll see you then.